So over the weekend, the government did not shut down. They voted to extend it for another 45 days. But this is the headline in the New York Post this morning. Does this look like a door handle? Because Congressman Bowman, during the middle of that vote, he was trying to get out and wanted to leave out of the emergency door. You probably saw this over the weekend. And he pulled the fire alarm. So Republicans are saying he did that just to shut down the government or to make them avoid a vote or so everyone would leave.
Right. Because he pulled the fire alarm just as the House Democrats were trying to delay the vote. So they're trying to delay the vote. And he pulls that thing. He was a high school principal. He knows what he knows what a fire alarm looks like. There's one in every school in the world.
Yeah, they teach the kids not to pull them.
Well, you don't. Well, you know what you do if there's a fire? You don't pull it to open the door. Does that look like? Does that look like a thing you pull to open the door? Here's a statement they put out Saturday after he got caught because the House Republicans, of course, run the House of Representatives, and the House released the video. The image of him pulling the fire alarm. The congressman said, "Today, as I was rushing to make a vote, I came to a door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I am embarrassed to admit that I activated the fire alarm, mistakenly thinking it would open the door. I want to be very clear. This was not me in any way trying to delay the vote. But he did delay the vote, and that is not what you pull to open a door. Come on, Congressman."
So, Ainsley, to your point, what do you teach the children? He used to run a school. He ran the Cornerstone Academy for Social Action. And in their code of conduct, they have these rules and consequences. So if you pull the fire alarm when it's not supposed to, there's two levels. There's level 5 and level 6. Level 5,
this is at the school?
At the school, you get suspended for 10 days. If it's a level 6, there's long-term suspension, and you can get expelled for the entire year from the school. So to your point, he educated our kids for a long time. Shouldn't he play by the same rules that he held them?
How'd you get the handbook from the school? That's very impressive.
Nice. The fire department shows up. I mean, that's a huge fine. The question is, there's going to be an investigation by Capitol Police. Are they going to ask for his phone? Did Hakeem Jeffries text him and say, "We need a delay, pull the fire alarm"? Was that his own brainstorm? And Nicole Malliotakis wants to pass a measure to get him ousted and fired in particular. So the socialist from New York, who tends to stand on the steps and scream at everybody, now finds himself in front and center. Nobody buys his explanation. What an embarrassment that is. And then you have AOC. I guess we're not going to play it, but AOC says for her it makes perfect sense.
In a moment of panic.
Yeah, in a moment of panic. Yeah, I couldn't get out the door. Now all of a sudden, after 500+ votes, he can't figure out how to get in to vote.
We joke about this, Steve, but I think the larger point is you got people that are locked up for preventing government proceedings going on.
Right.
Some people that weren't even there that are spending 30 years in prison. If your standard is the same, should he play by the same rules? Now, look, I'm not saying I'm a fan of all the J6ers that went there. They broke the law. There should be consequences. But a lot of civil libertarians say, does the punishment fit the crime? And if that is their standard, does this member of Congress have to play by those same rules?
Right.
A lot of people agree with you, Lawrence. Even Donald Trump was saying the same thing.
Plus, what does it say about the competence of this member of Congress if he said, I didn't know how to open the door, essentially, without a staff member there. Usually the staff members say, okay, let's go this way, push the elevator button, stuff like that. Without a staff member, he can't open a door?
I mean, it says fire on it.
Right.
It says fire. You pull it if there's a fire.
And there's ropes everywhere.
It's just crazy.
And, I mean, what is it? What's his excuse that he thinks it was like, the handicap buttons on the side?
Well,
is that what he thought?
He says he made a mistake. There's going to be an investigation. Let's hope they get to the bottom of it, and maybe he'll say, you know what, I was trying to delay it.
I didn't know there were cameras there.
Exactly.
That was his mistake.
And if he were a Republican, what would happen to him?
There are cameras everywhere in the Congress.
CNN wouldn't have taken commercials. They wait 24 hours.
Anyway, let's see what happens to the congressman. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.